Guys, this is Mr. Josh DJ, and this is your driver ratings and team ratings to the Miami Grand Prix. All drivers and teams covered as I rate them out of 10. Also, we have the fastest lap, star in the race, worst driver of the weekend, team of the weekend, and the worst team of the weekend. So, right, let's get started. Let's start off with Red Bull. Max, 9. Yes, I give Max Verstappen a 9. I would have given him a 10, but I'm marking him down because obviously he made that error in qualifying, got it all crossed up, couldn't improve on the lap time because the red flag, started P9, made his way up the field nicely and won the Grand Prix. He is going to be a 3-time world champion at the end of the season. There's no doubt about it. Perez is not quite there, I don't think. Sergio Perez, 9. Yes, I give Sergio Perez a 9. P1 in qualifying, and then P2 in the race, was leading most of the race, but unfortunately just did not have the pace to stay ahead of teammate Max Verstappen. It's as simple as that, really. Charles Leclerc, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, it's got to be 0. Shocking. I mean, that error he made in qualifying, brought out the red flag, pushing too hard. Charles Leclerc has got to cut back on these mistakes. Honestly, I love Charles. I think he does a great job for us at Ferrari, but he needs to cut back on these errors. There's no excuses now. It's gone on for way too long now. So, yeah, 0. Shocking, embarrassing. Carlos Sainz, 6. I thought Carlos Sainz was good this weekend. Outperforms Leclerc all weekend, so I am marking Carlos Sainz down a little bit because obviously he had that penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Thankfully, it didn't cost him his position. He remains where he was in P5, but yeah, as a driver, you should know better than that, so that's why I'm marking Carlos Sainz down. But obviously he got P3 in qualifying, which was very good because no one could improve on their lap time. But yeah, because that incident in the pit lane, that's why I'm marking him down. Lewis Hamilton, 6. Yes, I give my driver, Lewis Hamilton, a 6. Now, I mean, P13 in qualifying, absolutely horseshit. Shocking. No excuses for that. He blames the team, which I called him out for that on my race review. He blames the team for sending him out too late. Struggled in the first half of the race and then made a good recovery drive and made an epic overtake on Charles Leclerc. I mean, Lewis Hamilton finished P6 and Leclerc P7, but it's quite an ambitious move by Lewis, I'm not going to lie, but what an overtake anyway. Fair play to my driver. Absolutely fantastic. George Russell, 9. Yes, I give George Russell a 9. I believe he was P6 in qualifying and then he finished P4 in the race. I mean, outperforming that Mercedes car, no doubts about it. Fair play to the male model, George Russell. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, 3. Yes, I give them both a 3. McLaren this weekend is shocking. No pace whatsoever. I was surprised my subscriber, MUFC Racer, gave both the McLaren drivers a 0. You'll find out what I gave the team in a minute, but yeah, 0 for both drivers. I thought that's very harsh by my subscriber, but it is his ratings. He's entitled to his own opinion, but yeah, 3 for both of the McLaren drivers. Can't go any higher than that, really, can you? I mean, qualifying was awful and the race was awful. McLaren just did not work on this circuit at all. Honestly, shocking. Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon, 7. Yes, I give them both a 7. I thought they're very decent this weekend in the Alpine. And it's good way for Gasly to bounce back after that horror show at Baku. Really was. So fair play to Gasly. Nick de Vries, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, it's got to be 0, hasn't it? Literally the worst driver on the F1 grid this year. He did well to out-qualify 1-1, but in the race, shocking. Made contact with Lando Norris. Yeah, just Nick de Vries is out his depth. And he will not last long in that AlphaTauri, I tell you. They will not tolerate this. Red Bull were very brutal with both teams, you know. It's like if Checo wasn't for Horman, they'll drop him and put Ricciardo in the Red Bull. Yeah, he's not going to be in that AlphaTauri for much longer, Nick de Vries, I tell you. Shocking, no excuses whatsoever. 1-1, Yuki Tsunoda, 9. Yes, I give Yuki Tsunoda a 9. Qualifying wasn't that good. He got out-qualified by Nick de Vries, but finished P11 in the race. Just missed out on the points. 1-1, outperforming that AlphaTauri. Absolutely fantastic. Go on me, son. 1-1. Fantastic. Fernando Alonso, 10. Yes, I give Fernando Alonso a 10. I mean, P2 in qualifying and P3 in the race. Another podium. That's his 4th podium in 5 races. Absolutely unbelievable by the double world champion. The 41-year-old is doing absolutely outstanding. He really is. As of his teammate, Lance Stroll, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, awful. That's like a Lance Stroll hold this weekend. Almost back to reality. The Lance Stroll we known. Shocking. Nowhere near Fernando Alonso all weekend. And got it completely wrong in qualifying and was absolutely nowhere in the race. Awful weekends from the Canadian driver, honestly. Fauci, Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou, I give them both a 5. Now, Bottas did decent in qualifying, but didn't have the race. And Guan Yu Zhou never really sets the world on fire. He does okay in qualifying, but the race, not that great. So yeah, that's why I give them both a 5. Kevin Magnussen, 10. Absolute 10. I mean, to get that Haas into P4 in qualifying, absolutely unbelievable. And finish P10 in the race. My driver at the weekend, K-Mag, honestly, absolutely fantastic. Yes, wow. The Danish driver was superb this weekend. Honestly, I got a bit mad at him during qualifying because it looked like he nearly put Lewis Hamilton in the wall. But apart from that, absolutely fantastic. So that's why I'm giving him a 10. Nico Hulkenberg, 2. Dreadful. I mean, he got outperformed by Kevin Magnussen all weekend, Nico Hulkenberg. Struggled in the race, so a weekend to forget for the German. Alex Albon, 7. Yes, I give Alex Albon a 7. I mean, he did very well in qualifying, and the race, he was not very happy with the strategy he was on. Yeah, and the Williams just didn't look like he had the pace, but solid job by Alex Albon anyway, so that's why I'm giving him a 7. Logan Sargent, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, just what more can you get? Logan Sargent, he did well on his Bahrain debut, but ever since then, he's been absolutely horseshit, honestly. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Logan Sargent. That's almost just as bad as what Nicholas Latifi. And how many times did I call out Nicholas Latifi? You got to do the same with Logan Sargent. Nowhere near good enough. Where you have your teammate Alex Albon, who's nearly making Q3 nearly every week. Honestly, shocking, no excuses. An awful home Grand Prix for Logan Sargent, honestly. Right, that's the driver ratings done. Team ratings. Red Bull, 10. Yes, another 1 and 2. That car is just unstoppable. Ferrari, 7. Yes, I gave my team Ferrari a 7. I think that was the best we could have managed this weekend because our race pace is nowhere near good enough. Mercedes, 6. P4 and P6, very good points to the team. McLaren, 0. Absolutely 0. Shocking. Worst team in the weekend. Alpine, 6. Decent points to them. AlphaTauri 6, De Vries shocking, 1-for-1 outperforming that car again. Aston Martin 7, Fernando Alonso excellent, Lance Stroll back to reality. Alfa Romeo 5, shocking, no pace whatsoever in the race. Haas 7, Kevin Magnussen fantastic, Nico Hulkenberg not so good this weekend. Williams 5, Albon solid, Sargent needs to improve prompto. Otherwise he'll suffer the same fate as Leclerc Sazini, honestly. Fastest lap, Max, 1 minute 29.708. Start of the race, Max, but my driver on the weekend was Kevin Magnussen. Worst driver on the weekend by country mile, Logan Sargent. Team of the weekend, Red Bull. And like I said earlier, worst team of the weekend, McLaren. So that's the driver ratings done. Team ratings done from the Miami Grand Prix. We have a 2-week break now before we go to Imola. Now, driver ratings and team ratings does split opinion, but I love doing these videos because it gives me an opportunity to find out what my subscriber MUSC Racers done and the scores I get out as well. Comment your thoughts down below, I will always reply, and I'll be back this week with a Ferrari video talking about Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. You know, I'm not happy what's going on in the Scuderia at the moment. As a Ferrari fan, I'm actually wrong. I wouldn't say angry, but the performance of the car and sometimes the performances from Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz is nowhere near good enough. So stay tuned to that this week. I'm not happy at all with what's going on at my team. Bye-bye.